Good morning to you. We've been talking to you here on NewsNation about supply chain issues, shipping containers halted at ports, and shortages in staff causing a delay of getting goods on the shelves. And one thing we've realized during this pandemic is how much we rely on shipping companies and truck drivers and how impacted we are when there aren't enough people to do this job. So we want to talk about it. Joining us right now is Rebecca Hudson, an executive board member of the Next Generation in Trucking Association. Rebecca, good morning to you. Thanks for being with us. I know you guys sent a letter to U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg asking to get rid of a regulation that would restrict shipping abilities for drivers under age 21. First, I want to know, has he responded?
Hi, Adrian. Thanks for having me today. We did send that letter to Secretary Buttigieg. He has not responded yet. And we would just like everyone to know that this is a simple change that could allow 18-year-olds to start moving those containers off the ports and to warehouses within the state borders of those drivers.
Because right now you have to be 21 to actually do that job. Is that correct?
That is correct. There is a little nuance in the regulation that because these containers have come from outside the state at the respective ports, that 18-year-olds cannot move them because they are considered interstate commerce instead of intrastate. With a small change to the regulation that would not affect the law, 18-year-old CDL holders, not just 18-year-olds, but these are 18-year-olds who have received the training and been able to acquire their CDL license.
Yeah, so they are already qualified to drive these big trucks. They just happen to be younger than what the current regulations demand. How much of a difference would this make? How many more drivers would be able to do the job that we so need, especially at this desperate time?
We don't know the exact amount, but we know in every state, for instance, in California and Texas, there are many, many 18-year-olds, hundreds of 18-year-olds who already hold their CDL license and are allowed to drive within the borders of those states. But because the containers came from outside the state, they're not allowed to move them at all.
How much of a difference could this make in terms of just making sure the job gets done? Because I think a lot of people are worried about safety concerns of 18-year-old drivers.
Totally understand. In our view, there would not be a difference because they can already drive within their state borders. If something is local to that state, they can already move it from one end of the state to the other. The only difference is what sits at the ports has come from outside the state. So they're prohibited from moving it to a warehouse within the state.
Yeah, right there. Close by, relatively close by. Right. If this is approved by Buttigieg, could this happen as soon as the holiday season? Really needed for those who want their packages, those who want the items that they like to buy?
We believe firmly, Adrian, that if he would act on this, it could happen almost immediately because the training and the licenses are already in place. All that has to happen is a change to the regulation saying they can move those goods within their state borders so they could move the containers to warehouses. It's not asking for a major change to interstate commerce.
Rebecca Hudson, we appreciate you joining us, and we'll see if Buttigieg signs on that dotted line. Thank you.
We're hopeful. Thank you for having us.
All right. Appreciate it. Well, laser strikes on Florida pilots